Welcome to my channel StarWire Daily. Please share and subscribe and press the bell icon for new updates. Picture this. The world's tennis elite gathered in hushed whispers, phones buzzing with frantic messages, and fans across the globe refreshing their social media feeds in disbelief. Because just when we thought we had Novak Djokovic figured out, he pulls the ultimate plot twist that nobody saw coming. Welcome back to StarWire Daily, where the drama never stops and the stories always deliver. I'm your host, and today we're diving deep into a revelation that sent shockwaves through the tennis world and beyond. You might want to sit down for this one, because what we're about to uncover about the Serbian sensation's future plans will leave you speechless. Now, we've all been watching Novak Djokovic's career unfold like a masterpiece painted in real time. 24 Grand Slam titles, countless records shattered, and a legacy that seemed destined for a predictable sunset. The tennis world was preparing itself for the inevitable, the gradual farewell of a legend, perhaps a ceremonial last dance at Wimbledon or Roland Garros, followed by a quiet retreat into coaching or commentary. But here's the thing about legends. They don't follow scripts. They write their own. It started with subtle hints. Close sources began whispering about unusual meetings, mysterious phone calls, and a sudden shift in Djokovic's training regimen that had his inner circle raising eyebrows. His longtime coach, Goran Ivanišević, was spotted looking unusually serious during what should have been routine practice sessions. Even his wife Jelena, typically the picture of composure courtside, seemed to carry a secret that was almost bursting to escape. The tennis press, always hungry for the next big story, began connecting dots that seemed impossible to connect. Training sessions that ran longer than usual, conversations cut short when reporters approached, and most tellingly, that look in Djokovic's eyes. You know the one I'm talking about. That spark that appears when he's plotting something extraordinary. And then it happened. The announcement that sent the entire sports world into complete chaos. Novak Djokovic isn't just planning to retire. He's planning to revolutionize what retirement means for a tennis superstar. Sources close to the Djokovic camp have revealed exclusively to us that the 24-time Grand Slam champion is orchestrating the most ambitious post-tennis venture the sports world has ever witnessed. But this isn't about opening another tennis academy or launching a sportswear line. No, this is about something so much bigger, so unexpectedly brilliant, that it's redefining what it means to transition from athlete to entrepreneur in the modern era. Behind closed doors, Djokovic has been quietly assembling a team that reads like a who's who of technology innovators, entertainment moguls, and wellness pioneers. We're talking about partnerships with Silicon Valley's brightest minds, Hollywood's most creative visionaries, and health industry revolutionaries who see something in Novak that goes far beyond his backhand and mental fortitude. The project, and this is where it gets absolutely fascinating, centers around creating an entirely new ecosystem for athlete wellness and peak performance that transcends traditional sports boundaries. Imagine Netflix meets Tesla meets Tony Robbins, all wrapped up in Djokovic's unique philosophy of mind-body-spirit optimization. Now, here's what makes this story even more delicious. While other tennis legends have dabbled in business ventures with mixed results, Djokovic has been playing the long game in ways that would make a chess grandmaster jealous. Remember all those years when critics questioned his gluten-free lifestyle, his meditation practices, his unconventional training methods? Turns out, he wasn't just optimizing his tennis game. He was building a blueprint for something revolutionary. Sources tell us that major streaming platforms are already engaged in a bidding war for exclusive content rights to document this transformation. We're hearing whispers of a documentary series that would give us unprecedented access to the mind of a champion as he navigates this next chapter. And let's be honest, after the success of sports documentaries like The Last Dance and Drive to Survive, the appetite for intimate athlete storytelling has never been higher. But here's what really gets me about this story, and why it's so much more than just another celebrity business venture. Djokovic isn't running away from tennis. He's using everything tennis taught him to create something that could impact millions of lives. His struggles with injuries, his battles with public perception, His journey from war-torn Serbia to the pinnacle of global sports. All of it has been preparation for this moment. The wellness component of his post-retirement plans is particularly intriguing. Industry insiders are buzzing about potential collaborations with meditation app companies, partnerships with cutting-edge recovery technology firms, and even whispers of a revolutionary approach to mental health that combines Eastern philosophy with Western science. It's ambitious, it's unprecedented, and knowing Djokovic's track record of turning skeptics into believers, it just might change everything. And let's talk about the entertainment angle for a moment, because this is where things get really spicy. Hollywood sources are confirming that major production companies have been courting Djokovic not just as a subject, but as a creative partner. We're hearing about potential scripted series inspired by his life, reality shows that could redefine the sports documentary genre, and even discussions about feature films that would showcase the dramatic journey from Belgrade to tennis immortality. The timing couldn't be more perfect. With the sports entertainment industry experiencing explosive growth and audiences craving authentic stories about resilience and transformation, Djokovic's transition from court to camera represents a perfect storm of opportunity. But perhaps the most surprising element of this entire revelation is how it reflects Djokovic's evolution as a person, not just as a tennis player. Those who know him best describe a man who has spent years quietly studying, learning, and preparing for a life beyond tennis that would be just as impactful as his athletic achievements. His foundation work in early childhood education, his environmental activism, his advocacy for player rights. These weren't just side projects. They were building blocks for a larger vision that we're only now beginning to understand. And frankly, it's brilliant. The ripple effects of this announcement are already being felt across multiple industries. Tennis academies are scrambling to understand how this might change the landscape of player development. Wellness companies are reevaluating their celebrity partnership strategies. Entertainment executives are wondering if they've been thinking too small about sports personality transitions. And the fans? Well, the fans are experiencing something between grief and excitement. The grief of knowing that Djokovic's tennis career is approaching its sunset, mixed with the electricity of anticipating something completely new and unexpected. Social media has been absolutely explosive with reactions. Tennis Twitter is divided between those mourning the end of an era and those celebrating the beginning of what could be an even more exciting chapter. Celebrity fitness influencers are already speculating about potential collaborations. Documentary filmmakers are pitching concepts left and right. But here's the twist that nobody saw coming, and the detail that's had industry insiders picking their jaws up off the floor. Sources close to the situation reveal that Djokovic's retirement timeline isn't what anyone expected. Instead of the gradual wind down that most anticipated, we're looking at a much more strategic, much more dramatic transition that could happen sooner than anyone imagined. The whispers suggest that major announcements could be coming as early as the next few months, with partnerships being finalized, production schedules being locked in, and a launch timeline that would coincide with. Well, let's just say the timing would be absolutely perfect for maximum global impact. And between you and me, there's something almost poetic about this entire situation. Djokovic has always been the player who did things differently, who faced more criticism, had to fight harder for acceptance and recognition. Now, as he prepares to leave the sport that made him famous, he's once again choosing the path less traveled, the approach that others might not understand until it becomes undeniably successful. It reminds me of his early career when people questioned his physical conditioning, his playing style, his ability to compete with Federer and Nadal. He responded by becoming arguably the greatest tennis player of all time. Now, as people wonder about his post-tennis future, he's preparing to show the world that his greatest achievements might still be ahead of him. There's something deeply moving about watching a champion at the peak of their powers already thinking about their legacy beyond their sport. While other athletes struggle with identity crises after retirement, Djokovic has been quietly crafting a second act that could be even more impactful than his first. His journey from a young boy practicing tennis in a Belgrade basement during NATO bombing raids to potentially becoming one of the most influential figures in wellness and entertainment. It's the kind of story that Hollywood couldn't write because it would seem too incredible to believe. The business implications alone are staggering. Market analysts are already projecting the potential value of what's being called the Djokovic effect. The combination of his global brand recognition, his credibility in the wellness space, and his appeal to both sports fans and broader entertainment audiences. We're talking about numbers that could make his tennis prize money look like pocket change. And let's not forget the global reach factor. Djokovic isn't just popular in traditional tennis markets. His appeal spans continents, cultures, and age groups in ways that create unprecedented opportunities for cross-platform, multi-demographic content and products. Industry experts are calling this the most significant sports-to-entertainment transition since Michael Jordan's basketball and business empire convergence. But unlike Jordan's more traditional path through endorsements and ownership, Djokovic appears to be pioneering an entirely new model that blends content creation, wellness innovation, and social impact in ways that could set the template for future athlete transitions. The potential collaborations being discussed read like a fantasy sports fan's dream list. Streaming platforms that have revolutionized how we consume entertainment, technology companies that are reshaping human performance optimization, wellness brands that are redefining what it means to live a healthy life. And at the center of it all, a tennis champion who has spent his entire career proving that conventional wisdom isn't always wise. But beyond all the business speculation and industry analysis, there's something profoundly human about this story that resonates on a deeper level. Here's a man who has achieved everything possible in his chosen field, who could easily rest on his laurels and enjoy a comfortable retirement, choosing instead to risk his reputation and resources on something completely new and uncertain. It takes courage to reinvent yourself at the peak of your success. It takes vision to see possibilities that others can't imagine. And it takes the kind of relentless drive that made Djokovic a tennis legend to embark on an entirely new journey when the safe path would be so much easier. As we wrap up this incredible story, one thing becomes crystal clear. Novak Djokovic isn't just retiring from tennis. He's graduating to something bigger. Whether this ambitious post-tennis vision succeeds or fails remains to be seen. But knowing Djokovic's track record of turning doubters into believers, smart money says we're witnessing the beginning of something extraordinary. The tennis world will undoubtedly miss his fierce competitiveness, his dramatic comebacks, and those moments of pure athletic poetry that only champions can create. But if the whispers are true, if the plans being orchestrated behind the scenes come to fruition, we might be trading the loss of a tennis great for the gain of something even more significant. A new model for how athletes can impact the world beyond their sport. And isn't that exactly what we should expect from Novak Djokovic? The man who refused to be defined by others' expectations, who created his own path to greatness, who turned every setback into a setup for an even greater comeback. His retirement planning isn't just about ending one chapter. It's about writing an entirely new book. This story is far from over, and honestly, I have a feeling the most exciting chapters are yet to be written. What do you think about Djokovic's shocking retirement plans? Are you excited to see what he creates next? Or are you mourning the eventual end of one of tennis's greatest careers? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I read every single one and love hearing your perspectives on these incredible stories. If stories like this get you as excited as they get me, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to StarWire Daily. We're always first with the stories that matter, the details others miss, and the insider access that brings you closer to your favorite stars and athletes. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, because trust me, you won't want to miss what we uncover next. Until next time, keep watching, keep wondering, and keep expecting the unexpected, because in the world of sports and entertainment, the most incredible stories are always the ones nobody sees coming.